Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So I thought for today's video, I would give you guys my current predictions for the All-NBA first, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third teams. Now, keep in mind, man, like this change, like this list changes for me on the daily, just because there's different games that happen, circumstances, and players going crazy and stuff that makes it just change, right? So whatever my teams were maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, could totally be different today, and of course by the end of the season, guys. So keep in mind as we go through this, there most definitely will be snubs. Hopefully you guys don't dislike the video because of that reason. Keep in mind that I'm fully aware that there is only 15 spots for the All-NBA team, and there's way more talent than that in the NBA. So if you guys don't mind dropping that like, just because, man, like, we got difference of opinions and stuff, and I'm totally open to your guys' opinion. Hopefully you guys are open to my opinions and why I am picking these players where I am picking them at. Also, if you guys don't mind subscribing if you are new to the channel. So yes, I guess before we get going on this, I got to give you guys my criteria, what exactly for me gets a player on an All-NBA team. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to say I feel like stats, those are for the All-Star games. Now, stats obviously are important when it comes to All-NBA also, man, but like the All-Star game, that for the most entertaining players puts up the craziest stats and everything like that, man. Those players get recognized at that time. For me, the All-NBA team, stats are important, but also team impact, and just really how a player can change the culture of an entire franchise. Seeing a guy no longer on a team due to injury or whatever, and how that kind of affects them, right, man? So, yeah, let's get going on this. I'm actually going to start with the All-NBA first, just because I feel like that's the least surprising of these. As we get down, you guys will be like, whoa, who's not going to make it, on Crispy's list here. So I will be looking off screen, man. I do have my list, fully out here with stats and everything. I have player records and everything pulled up. So let's go right into this. I will snub somebody that people are going to get mad about. I'm already fully aware of that. But okay, so let's start with the guard position, guys. My All-NBA first-team point guard is Steph Curry. And about 2 weeks ago, it would have been Damian Lillard. But right now, man, the way Curry has been playing, just the amount of threes he's been hitting, and really just literally just putting the Golden State Warriors on his back, man. It's some of the greatest basketball we've ever seen played, in this short duration. I mean, he's just going insane, man. There is no way I can keep Curry off those. I'm not one of the people that think Curry's going to win MVP. I just don't think that's going to happen. I feel like there's a lot more other factors and stuff that go into the MVP award. But I recognize Curry, man, as All-NBA first, no doubt in my mind. So the other position I have is also going to be, well, I think this guy's technically listed as a shooting guard, but he mostly plays point guard for the team. That's going to be James Harden for the Brooklyn Nets. So on the season, Harden is averaging 25 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. By the way, Curry's at 31, 6, and 5. But yeah, Harden to me, my just approach when it comes to Harden has just changed so much based off this season. And I've really I knew James Harden as the hero ball guy on the Houston Rockets. We all saw that. We saw it did not really lead to winning basketball. Just the way he's been able to impact the game and really change his style of play on the Brooklyn Nets has been a beautiful thing to watch. It just goes to show that you can still, be completely just as effective, if not more so, by changing up a little bit, right, man? So he's been fantastic, man. I'm really happy for James Harden. And, obviously the Houston Rockets situation ended pretty awkwardly. And I know the man gets a lot of hate, for a lot of reasons that he brings upon himself. But regardless, when it comes to playing basketball, we all roasted him for years about the hero ball not working. It did not work, and now he's playing T-ball, and yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are fantastic because of it. Okay, so my All-NBA forward. So I'm going to be doing 2 forwards and then, 1 center spot. So for me, man, it's still got to be LeBron James. I understand that, LeBron has missed some games, but I was actually comparing him to some of the other small forwards and power forwards in the NBA, and a lot of the top-notch ones that you would no doubt have in the top spots no matter what. A lot of them have missed significant time for one reason or another. So have been guys Kawhi Leonard has missed some games, not too many, not as many years past, but Kevin Durant's another one to name. So yeah, to me, LeBron, yes, he's missed games. We've definitely seen the impact on the Lakers, which is why I said earlier, impact is a big time thing. But LeBron this season, man, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. He's still All-NBA first. That's just how it is for me. So that's what it's going to be. Okay, for the other forward position, guys, I'm going to go with a man that I think really, if the other years didn't happen, he would probably be in the running for the MVP award. And that is going to be, if I can find him on my list, he's somewhere here. Where are we at, man? I know maybe I already selected them. Wait, there we go. Giannis and Antetokounmpo, man. So yes, when it comes to Giannis winning the MVP award, it's going to simply come down to voters' fatigue. But Giannis is still playing some of his best basketball. He keeps on getting better like year after year, which is crazy because he's already been a beast for many years now, man. But yeah, Giannis this season 29 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists per game. Milwaukee Bucks are 35 and 22 currently, so we have them right top the Eastern Conference yet again. So, yeah, I don't think there's any big-time surprises here. If you guys have any arguments so far, let me know in the comment section below. And we all know the center for the All-NBA first is going to be Jokic. Jokic is becoming even more important. Right now, the Denver Nuggets are on a 3-game win streak. So keep in mind, that's like without Jamal Murray, with him going down with injury and stuff. So Jokic is just showing his value even more and why he's worthy of not only, in my opinion, winning the MVP award, but All-NBA first. So yeah, Jokic, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists per game. One of the most skillful, around-the-clock centers I've ever seen play basketball, man. So yeah, he's been absolutely amazing. So hopefully you guys, don't have any too big of gripes about the All-NBA first. I would say maybe the biggest gripe people could have is maybe not having LeBron there because of missing games because of injuries. But like I said, look at the forwards out there, guys. Like a lot of them just are not LeBron, or they've also missed time for different reasons. So next up, we have my All-NBA second. So the point guard for this is going to be Damian Lillard. No really big surprises there. Like I said, man, a few weeks ago, I had him as first. I had him actually running for MVP. Not to win it, but in the running for it, which is definitely different. But, Damian's still putting up Dame time numbers, right? But, I mean, Curry is just going on another level where I feel like it was worthy having, Curry at number one. So Damian Lillard, 29 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. And the Portland Trail Blazers, 32 and 24 on the season, in the running for the playoffs. It's currently the 6th seed at the making of this video. So yeah, Dame, just Mr. Consistent, right? Like that's like you always know what you're gonna get from Damian, and it's always pretty damn good. It's always top 2 3-point guard in the NBA. Okay, next up for All-NBA second, I'm gonna go with Luca Doncic. So I know a lot of people probably have him maybe like in their All-NBA first. I simply do not, just because like the Dallas Mavericks, it seems like they have taken a little bit of a step back this season. I don't think that's Luca's fault at all. But at the same time, too, look at some of these other teams and their records, maybe like their impact and stuff like that. Or I feel like All-NBA second felt about right for Luca on the season, man. He's averaged 29 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. So, yeah, still absolutely fantastic. I don't have him over Curry or Harden, so that's why he's on All-NBA second and not All-NBA first. And I was pretty good with that. Still getting better every single season. So, Luca is absolutely amazing. It's just so much damn talent in the NBA. Okay, for the All-NBA second, for the first forward position, we are going to have Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi is one of those guys that I will even admit that I could argue for being All-NBA first, and I would have no problems with him over LeBron just because of like the whole, playing more games and stuff like that. Like I think that's definitely an argument to be had this year when it comes down to these teams. He's averaging 26.7 rebounds, 5 assists. One of the best, defensive players in the NBA. Always will be until the day he retires. Clippers are 40 and 19 on the season. So, yeah, I mean, we all know the impact of Kawhi Leonard, and of course, Paul George is playing some amazing basketball. So, yes, okay. The other forward position, this one might be a little bit of a hot take, and I fully, admit to that. But this goes, simply beyond stats for me. This one right here, I think this man deserves this. I feel like the way this man has been playing as of late, like people have been talking about being like in the conversation for MVP. I don't know if I would go quite that far, but he has definitely been so valuable. He's changed the complete just like direction of this franchise, at least for this season. And that's going to be Julius Randle, man. I have no problems putting Julius Randle All-NBA second team. A few weeks ago, okay, maybe that would have been a little bit too far, but the way he's been playing as of late, man. So Julius on the season, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists per game. So you might be thinking, okay, I'm going to say this. To me, like what Julius is doing for the New York Knicks, I feel like is more impactful than Paul George, who's having a phenomenal season, by the way, for the Clippers. But he's doing that as like the second option to Kawhi Leonard. So like I feel like there's something to be said about that number one option action out there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, fully recognize it as maybe a bit of a hot take with a lot of you guys, but I'm paying the respect where the respect is due, and to me, that's Julius Randle right there. So, alrighty, and then All-NBA second center. This one's pretty easy, no doubt, man. Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid has picked one hell of a season to have his best season in the NBA, just because, it's phenomenal, but we all see what Jokic is doing this year. So Embiid this season, 30 points, 11 rebounds, always extremely impactful on defense, shooting the 3-ball really nice this season, has the 76ers in first place at 39 and 18 on the year. Yeah, okay. So now we get to All-NBA third. The reason I wanted to save this one for last is because this is going to be the moment, man, where you, see somebody, just, does not go on the list. You're like, yo, Crispy, disrespectful towards, Buddy Hield. I promise there will be no Buddy Hield disrespect. He just simply is not All-NBA team, in my opinion, man. Okay, so for the first All-NBA third-team guard position, to me, once again, man, this comes down to just changing culture out there. I like to call this, man, the Steve Nash effect. Steve Nash won multiple MVPs not by having the greatest stats all the time when he won those awards, but having the greatest impact. And that's got to be Chris Paul, man. I mean, the point guard right here, I love Devin Booker and stuff, but, this team is completely different with CP3 on the squad. So he's averaging 16 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds per game, and he has the Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker, of course, DeAndre Ayton playing great, 41-16, second seed in the Western Conference. Like, I recognize the team was probably going to be pretty good this season anyway, just because the bubble last year was a pretty big-time indicator of that. But, I have Chris Paul here, man, paying him full respect towards him just changing, that Suns franchise, and also recognizing the up-and-coming that was Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, and what they were doing already before CP3 got there. Okay, so for the All-NBA second or third-team guard spot, the second third-team guard spot, I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving, man. So, to start the year, I was a little bit, maybe harsh is the word on Kyrie Irving. And, he was missing games and stuff like that, and for reasons that, man, I don't want to get into, like, the politics behind it or anything like that, but he was missing games that some people would say he should have missed, and other people say he should not have missed for whatever reason, personal stuff like that. But regardless, like, Kyrie Irving is probably, in my opinion, having his best season as a basketball player, and that's already a guy that's for quite a few years now has been already listed as the top point guard in the NBA. 27 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds per game. But not only that, man, like, just the efficiency that comes with Kyrie this season, just the basketball IQ, and just recognizing that as the point guard. But like I said, James Harden's more of the point guard, but the listed point guard of this team. The fact of the matter that it doesn't matter if it's Kevin Durant out there, it doesn't matter if it's James Harden, it doesn't matter if you have, Blake Griffin and Bruce Brown for a game. Like, Kyrie, no matter what game he plays in, is giving it his all. So I feel like that's something to respect about that. Okay, All-NBA third. So I'm going to tell you guys my biggest snub right now that would no doubt, in my opinion, actually probably be All-NBA first if it wasn't for, like, missing a really big significant time, man. Like, more so than a lot of these other guys. Kevin Durant, I do not have him on my All-NBA teams. He's only played, like, in the low 20 games. I recognize he's putting up All-NBA numbers, but when you have so much talent in the NBA, man, like, I feel like you got to pay it forward to the guys that are out there. So, okay, and with that being said, my All-NBA third forward is a guy that actually missed quite a bit of time in the beginning of the season, but we felt his impact, the franchise felt his impact when he wasn't there, and that is going to be Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat, guys. So the Miami Heat currently right now are 30-28, fighting for a playoff spot. They had a very rough start to the season. Jimmy Butler, came in and he turned things around. So yeah, they're currently on a 2-game win streak too. So Butler on the season, man, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game. He's so important to that Miami Heat franchise. He's just such an important player in general. So yeah, I have him there. Okay, next up, we got the other forward position. Once again, people might think this is a little bit of a hot take or, being disrespectful to some of the other guys out there. But I'm actually going to go with Zion Williamson, guys. So Zion Williamson on this season, like, he is showing us why he is the full package. 27.7 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Just when it comes to, like, scoring the basketball, like, this guy simply does not miss. And, yeah, I mean, this is one right here where I could definitely be argued for somebody else, maybe a Paul George or a Jason Tatum. I would totally be open to that. Like I said, the reason I didn't have Paul George is because, Kawhi is the number one option over there. And, but I guess maybe that argument can be said about, like, Kyrie and James Harden too. But this is just simply a case where there's not enough spots for everybody, right, man? And then, Tatum's been amazing. I actually think he's the leading scorer from when it comes to forwards and stuff. But I know the Boston Celtics have taken a bit of a step back this season. So, yeah, I love Jalen and Jason, guys. So Celtic fans, please don't get too angry at me. I've been big advocates of both those players this season. It's just, to me, like seeing what Zion's doing at this age and stuff like that, and it's just something it seems like we've never really seen before, right? Maybe the last time we saw was a 20-year-old Jason Tatum. There's the joke. Okay, and then for the All-NBA third center, I recognize guys like Bam Adebayo this season, but I feel like having two guys on the All-NBA team, like, you really have to be, like, a god squad out there. So Nothing against Bam Adebayo, but, for one, I don't have Donovan Mitchell on this list. The Utah Jazz have been, the first seed in the Western Conference. So they deserve somebody on this list. I mean, you can make an argument probably to have Donovan Mitchell maybe over Chris Paul, but to make up for that for the Utah Jazz, I'm going to go with Rudy Gobert and just paying respect towards defense, the impact that just a great, one of the best defense centers of all time can have on the game, and that's Rudy Gobert. 14 points, 14 rebounds. The rebound is nice. Scoring on the inside is what he's done for years now, but it's the 3 blocks per game, just the impact of the interior presence that makes him a big-time difference. So, yeah, that's who I have, man. Is it a perfect list? I mean, I like it. I made it, so obviously I'm going to like it. I recognize where maybe some of you guys would kind of change things up, but I'm looking at some other guys listed here. And said Bam, I guess, could be considered a snub to some extent. Maybe you could get that All-NBA third spot. Anthony Davis has been out too much, so I don't really have him on there. Devin Booker, you can have the argument between Booker and Chris Paul on who you want there, and I would be happy either way. I just feel like one of those guys deserves to make it. Kevin Durant, injuries, major injuries, missing major time, but when he does play, he freaking dominates like crazy. Beal, puts up the numbers. Same with Russell Westbrook, but the Washington Wizards record, just kind of, those guys are cool for the All-Star game. So, yeah, if they were winning, then obviously I would have one of those guys probably on the list somewhere. So, yeah, I think overall it's a fair list. It's a fair list. Once again, it's a case where there's more spots, or more great players than there are spots available. So, yeah, that's all I got, man. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you all think in the comment section below. And peace out, my friends.